Welcome back to the garage, guys. Instead of a big long intro, let's just jump right in. All right. Let's see if these puppies fit. No! Oh, I see what's up. Yeah, they're good. Hold on. Let me get you closer. Forgive the craziness, but I think these are made for 1.5 inches. So my 1 3/4, it's not fitting around, so I just need a trim. But it goes in between. And so that's one. Same thing with the other, 2. Awesome. Okay, cool. Now this goes right on in there. These aren't perfectly in line, but that's okay because they're like a little teeny bit. Bloop. And then this one, as you can see, just kind of use the old flapper wheel and ground them out. Now, what I plan on doing is mounting it so that the transmission members that these bolt onto are on this side of this mount. So on both the front and the back. So that way, if it's on this side and this one's on this side, if I ever have to pull the transmission out, I could just basically pull it this way. It would have been easier to just kind of mount them both on the front, but then how do you get the transmission out? You have to lift up, and that might be difficult. So if I scoot this forward a bit more, mount it to the front side of that transmission mount, and mount this on the forward side of the rear transmission mount. And then everything, when I just pull it back, I could just shoot and then drop it down and then pull it out that way. So anyway, that's the thought. I don't know if it's a good thought, but it's a thought. Chances are what I'll end up doing once I find out where the transmission is going to sit, I'll probably add quick disconnects to these tubes, the frame horns, so that I could pull the transmission out with the frame horns, which would be kind of sounds weird to me initially, but then I noticed, like, on a couple of posts of like Blake Wilkie, he had to pull his transmission out during the I think it was the Baja 1000 or something of that nature, or some NORA race down in Mexico. And I noticed his transmission was bolted to a cross member like this, and the cross member bolted out or pulled out, you know. And then a couple other guys I noticed did the same thing. So I'm going to take a hint from the guys who know. So step 1, mount it so that I can pull the transmission out without removing it. But if it is easier, I could just put some, you know, what are those called? Little tube connectors or whatever. And that way I could pull the whole cradle out with the transmission. And that would be kind of cool, because then you could pull the engine out as well if you wanted to. That'd be heavy. That'd be heavy and very difficult. Maybe just the transmission. But yeah, so far so good. That's all I can get done today, because I got to go to work tonight. And we'll get this all finished up in the morning and hopefully have the transmission in. Once the transmission goes in, my neighbor down the street has a engine hoist, and then I'm going to mount the engine to the transmission. And then I can put bolt the wheels, tires on, and then this thing will be a roller. Kind of freaky to think about that, but all the same, we're doing it. So now that the mounts are good on the frame horns, I bolted them to the mock-up trans and started to put everything back in. Okay, so I got the transmission in place, sort of. Let me show you what's going on. I pushed it in as far as I could, and I kind of, as you can see, I left about a 1/2 inch finger width or so to the torsion tube. And you'll notice my frame horns aren't that long. So I will have to lengthen them out to pick up these forward parts here. Now, if I do try to push it on, it's just not going to work. And it's going to hit up here as I lift it up. So that's not going to work. So what I'm going to do, frankly, I'm going to mount the rear arms, because what I want to do is once I get the rear arms mounted, I'll see where the CV axle needs to be straight in line. And then I could lengthen this out that much so that there is no deflection forward to back on my CV. The guy at Tech who actually builds the CV shafts, if you order custom axles, he said that for every inch you're back or forward, any deflection in that CV, you lose at least a degree of flex, maybe more. So I don't remember the exact numbers, but I want to have the most flex as I can. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the arm in, move the transmission back so that my CV is totally in line, and then I will add to there. Now, as far as adding to that, I'm not too worried about strength. I'm going to do just like my cage. I'm going to slip in a tube, and that just strengthens up this whole section, and then the other tube will slip on, and I'll weld it all up. That'll make sure that I have plenty of strength here, and besides, it's going to be tied to the rest of the chassis, so I'm not too worried about that. So that's the plan. So let's get these arms on and find out where that needs to be so we can get all this done. And with any luck, I'll have the motor on here hopefully fairly quick. We'll see. With that, I started reinstalling the buggy barn 5x5s I picked up, and having put everything back together, I installed one on the chassis. Putting it back together was actually a lot easier than I thought it'd be. I just figured it would take more time, but before I knew it, I was putting the arm back to ride height and starting to line up the CV shafts. All right, it's time to line up the CV output with the CV joint at the axle side, so let's do that. What I'm doing is, as you can see, it's like that. And it goes in up quite a bit. That's a few degrees, a few inches for sure. I don't want to lose all that flex. So I am going to go straight like that. Does that look straight? It kind of looks straight. Close enough. And measure it from the center to the center. 5.5. Wow, that's a ton. That sucks, but whatever. So I got out my 1.5" sleeving tube and started cleaning it up with some sandpaper. After it was all cleaned up, I cut it to the length I need for the sleeves. And having moved the trans out of the way, I reinserted the sleeves into the frame horns. I got the welder out, but decided that it was probably best if I cut the extended lengths for the frame horns in order just to put everything together all in one sitting. I first tack welded the sleeves in place, then put on the extensions. Everything lined up pretty good, but I still used some C-channel to hold it while I was welding up the gap. Yes, I'm using zip ties, and yes, it is kind of janky, but it worked fine and they did the job. Side 1 is done, time for side 2. And with a little cleanup, it was time to install the trans again. Then I got out my roll cage tube and started lining up the flanges again. All right, let's see what we got. So I put the transmission in and it's looking pretty good. Had to clear out the set. Now I will say this, it's tipped quite a bit. I don't know if that's normal. It has that lean to it. I put mounts on exactly like you would think they would, and it's just built into it, I guess. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be that way or not. I actually kind of like it because with the engine tipped up, it has more ground clearance, so when you come down hard or you're climbing up the departure angle, I could slope the tubes around the engine cage back and up like so. So I'm actually kind of okay with it, but I'm still thinking about it. I haven't welded anything on yet. I see it's pretty tight to the firewall there. It's going to need to be trimmed for the starter for sure. The only other thing I wanted to show you guys was this angle. Now I got it slightly moved forward, so it actually could come back a little bit, maybe about a 1/2 inch to make it 100% straight. But I want to try to get the excuse me. Okay, there you go. All right, but I want to get the And I don't know. I want it not to hang off the back a whole bunch. You see some of the V8 guys, and it's like way out there. It's not like bad per se, but I got a V6, kind of short, what have you. So I don't know. So, but anyway, you see, I just used some roll cage tube to kind of line it up. That's why I wanted to get this in and those on before I welded these tabs on, just to make sure I had my CV angles correct. That's why I had Maya's Bug make me these covers, basically so I could mock up where the CV is going to be. And I could have done that without them, but this makes it so much easier. But yeah, that's what it looks like from the back. Looks pretty good. I'm getting excited. Tomorrow will be the other side. I don't have to do much. I'll post something on Instagram right now about if I should move the engine back or the transmission back enough to make that CV straight, or if that ½ inch to an inch doesn't really matter. I'm not sure yet. But tell me what you think in the comment section. And if you're on Instagram, tell me what you think there too. I'll probably also put it on Baja Society on the Facebook page. So check it out, tell me what you think, and leave a comment, all that stuff. Let's keep going. Well, that's where I'm going to end this video, but I did want to show you a couple things that I think I figured out. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so I wanted to show you this real quick. So I think I figured out why these transmission mounts are the way they are. They are so high in the back and not in the front, because if you look, you see this, it goes straight across the bottom side of my frame horns, and it's not going to hit the transmission at all. So it kind of sets up a nice little skid pad to be completely flat bottom. And I kind of like that, to be quite honest with you. I really, really do. So I'm actually thinking what I'll probably end up doing is raising the front mounts to kind of get some of this tilt out instead of dropping the back mounts. Initially I thought, well, I could just run another tube down and along the bottom and then just move this down. That'll help even everything out. It'll still have a little bit of a rake, but not too much. But in fact, I think I am leaning more towards, again, moving the front mounts up in order to correct the rake. Because honestly, when I'm looking at this, I'm not too worried about that amount of rake, but I don't like that the sump is on the back. If the sump was over this side, I wouldn't have any issues whatsoever, because frankly, you can just, the oil will drain into the sump and then suck up. But because the sump is up front, I want the oil to drain into the sump and not into the back. So I do need to correct this a little bit, I think. Again, you guys let me know what you guys think. Is it something I need to worry about, or I'm overthinking it way too much? Either way, if I am going to correct it at all, it's going to be a little bit, and if I do, it'll be on the front. But anyway, yeah, so if you take a look, that's pretty flat bottom. You know what I mean? I kind of like that. I really do. So I think maybe the front is going to go up just a skosh. Again, I'm still kind of noodling a bunch of this stuff out. As you guys know, this is my first bug, my first desert car. So it's all very new to me. So if you have any ideas, questions, comments, concerns, or suggestions, please leave them in the comment section, and I'll be happy to hear what you have to say. As for that, would like to thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like, a subscribe, and catch you on the next one. I'm Damien, and this is the Binder Builder.